Hello and welcome back to the Eldritch Stronghold. I'm Mitchell, or Guru Yanu, and this is Deck Sesh. Today's episode we're going to talk about one of my favorite decks, a deck I've had for many years, God Eternal Oketra. God Eternal Oketra is a 5-mana zombie god, 3/6 double strike. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you create a 4/4 black zombie warrior creature token with Vigilance, and whenever she dies or is put in exile from the battlefield, you put it into the owner's library third from the top. I don't really recommend doing that part, but it is there. We're going to be focusing on the zombies and also a new addition, the rabbits. And by rabbits, I mean this fun new card out of Jumpstart, Heir Apparent. It's a 2-mana 2/2 rabbit noble. When this creature enters, create a number of 1/1 white rabbit creature tokens equal to the number of other creatures you control named Heir Apparent. A deck can have any number of cards named Heir Apparent. This whole deck is going to be based around this card, and we're going to be running 20 of them, and we're going to be picking these up and replaying them, and also triggering our commanders for an army of zombies and rabbits. Now we're going to move on to cards that builds our army even more. The first card is Defiler of Faith, a 5-mana Phyrexian human. It's a 5/5 with Vigilance. As an additional cost to cast white permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 less white to cast if you paid life this way. This effect reduces the amount of white mana, only the amount of white mana you pay. It only works for 1 mana, but it is paying 2 life to get rid of at least 1 pip. It is helpful, especially with Heir Apparent being only 2 mana, so you can pay 2 life and 1 other mana to get the rabbit, and sometimes that's better than just paying the 2 mana. And then the other side is whenever you cast a white permanent spell, you create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, cast the rabbit, you begin rabbits, zombies, and now you add human soldiers onto that list. Next card, Oketra's Monument. For 3-mana artifact, you get white creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and whenever you cast a creature spell, you create a white warrior creature token with Vigilance. That's giving you both things you want. It's making all your creature spells cost 1 less. So with this and the Defilers, you're paying 2 life for the cast the Heir Apparent, and then you're getting a white warrior from this, a white soldier from the Defiler, a 4/4 zombie from your commander, and then as many rabbits as you can make. We won't be making just creature tokens though. The next card, Bygone Bishop, is a 3-mana spirit cleric with flying. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 3 or less, you investigate. That's making a clue token. That's pretty solid. Being a mono white deck, drawing cards are really nice, and all your Heir Apparents and other creatures you have in this deck do cost less than 3 mana. Next card is not making tokens, but it is upgrading them rabbits and them zombies and them soldiers and them humans to the very next best thing, a 4/4 white angel creature with Divine Visitation, a 5-mana enchantment. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, that many 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and Vigilance are created instead. That's just making your army bigger and better. The last card in this category is Mundrake Glory Dominus. It's a 4-mana 4/4 Phyrexian Horror. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many tokens are created instead. And you can sacrifice 2 other artifacts and/or creatures to put an indestructible counter on this creature. So it has self-protection, and it doubles all your tokens, not just creature tokens. So that Bygone Bishop will be making twice that many clue tokens. And I know there's other token doublers and token triplers, but I like this one because it does a lot of things for us. And that would be it for this category. Next set of cards is all about bringing back or picking up and putting back down the rabbits or other creatures. The first card is Raise the Past. For 4 mana, you get a sorcery, and you return all creature cards with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Long hard battle, all your rabbits are in the yard. Play this, get them all back, create a bunch of rabbits. Next card, Scapegoat. For 1 mana instant, you sacrifice a creature and you return any number of creatures to the owner's hand. This card's fantastic. It's board wipe protection, as well as you just want to reset all your rabbits on the field back to your hand to replay them to make even more tokens. Next card, continuing the theme of picking up rabbits, you get Dust Elemental. It's a 4-mana elemental. It's 6/6 with flash, flying, and fear. So you can play this on your opponent's turn. When it enters the battlefield, you return 3 creatures you control to the owner's hand. It's board wipe protection, lets you reset rabbits, and comes tied to 6/6 unblockable beater. The next card is Cloudstone Curio. It's a 3-mana artifact. Whenever a non-artifact permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may return another permanent you control that shares a permanent type with it to its owner's hand. So when you play a rabbit, you can pick up a rabbit. You play a rabbit, you pick up a rabbit. You can see where this is going, and it will get out of hand. And yes, you'll need a calculator. The last card is White Mane Lion, 2 mana for 2/2 cat. It has flash, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you can return a creature you control to its owner's hand. This card is pretty good at picking up other stuff, but it's also really good at just picking up himself if you just want on enter effects or to trigger the Cloudstone Curio. This is a very key piece for that puzzle. Alright, the next cards we're going to talk about is card advantage, because we need to keep drawing in the rabbits to keep playing rabbits. So the first card is Benny. For 4 mana, you get a 3/2 Elf Druid. He has Convoke, and at the beginning of each end step, if you created a token this turn, you draw a card. I like the fact that it's each end step, so on your opponent's turn, if you ended up making some tokens, you can draw a card. The next card is Horn of the Mark, 2 mana, legendary artifact. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attacks a player, you look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So this is pretty good. You attack with your rabbits. You look at the top 5. You can grab another rabbit or any other creature. Next card is Assemble the Players, 2 mana enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. And once each turn, you may cast a creature spell that with power 2 or less from the top of your library. This is good. You see a rabbit, you can cast it from the top and keep that chain going. The next card is Spirited Companion, a 2 mana enchantment dog. Whenever a Spirited Companion enters the battlefield, you draw a card. This is just a good card to continue to just pick up and drop down just for the card advantage it provides. The last card is a really good one. It's Thrumming Stone, a 5 mana legendary artifact. Spells you control have Ripple 4, so whenever you cast a spell, you may reveal the top 4 cards of your library, and you may play any revealed cards with the same name as that without paying their mana cost. This is just straight up powerful. Play a rabbit. If you reveal 4 rabbits off the top, you're going to play all 4 of them. This card is just unique, and it only works in cards or in decks that have cards that can play any number of them, like Shadowborn Apostle and so forth and so on. Last few cards are going to be cards that are going to help us close out the game, and that is Anthems. The first card is Elish Norn Grand Cenobite, a 7 mana Praetor, 4/7, Vigilance, and other creatures you control get +2/+2, and creatures your opponent controls get -2/-2. This card is great when it's on your side, and terrible if it's on the other side. The next card is Moonshaker Cavalry, an 8 mana 6/6 Spirit Knight with flying. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain flying and get +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures you control. This scales up with how many rabbits, zombies, humans, and all the other tokens you have. And it's just like Craterhoof. It drops down, buffs your board, and you'll probably win with this. Next card is True Conviction, 6 mana enchantment. Creatures you control have double strike and lifelink. Fantastic card. Next card, Eldrazi Monument, 5 mana artifact. Creatures you control have +1/+1. Flying and indestructible. Makes all your rabbits crazy powerful. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you have to sacrifice a creature, and if not, you have to sacrifice this, but you're going to have so many tokens in this deck, I don't think that's going to be an issue. The last card is one of the new room cards, and it's Dazzling Theater. That's the side we really care about, and creatures you cast have Convoke, so you can just straight up just tap your rabbits to cast your other rabbits and just keep that chain going as well. The other side of it, though, is a new untap each creature you control on each other player's untap step. That side's pretty cool too, just so you always have blockers, so you have to go into defensive. You can go into the prop room if you have to go in the attack mode and summon a bunch of rabbits. You go to the Dazzling Theater. And that'll be it for this deck. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty powerful. It's a little expensive because the rabbits are common, but they're like $5 a piece right now. But I think if you do build this deck, you will enjoy it, and people will be very surprised. You have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.